Well, I'm Elizabeth Tovar. I'm an associate professor at the College of Nursing, where I teach in the graduate nursing program. I teach in the DNP classes, and we have hybrid courses. So it's online, and we meet 5 times a semester. So that's why I chose. Did you start it already? Oh, yeah, that was my first slide. Yeah. So I'll just tap or dance or do something. But yeah. So I chose the community online because even though we still meet 5 times, it's still a challenge to get that sense of community. And so that was the faculty learning community that I chose. And so as Catherine said, we developed a Canvas shell to share resources about ways to improve that. So that's what I'm going to describe, the rest of it, the second half. So yeah, that's what we did. We spent the last year sharing things that have worked in our courses and ideas about things that could work. And so what we did was the 4 modules that you kind of walked through already. We have long-term, short-term, and unit-long projects. Catherine walked you through her thinking study groups. My contribution was the hybrid assignment, and then I'm going to give you examples of the other long-term and short-term that I want to use in my class. So what I did was, it was a vulnerable populations group presentation, and it's in the nursing quality and safety course that I teach. And so the groups broke into, we have about 15 to 20 students depending on the semester, and they broke into groups of 3 where they worked together and they identified a health disparity in a vulnerable population. And they selected a clinical problem and they looked at the research related to that problem. And each one had to do about 5 research articles, and they had to synthesize the research, and from that propose a strategy to address the problem, do a 5-minute presentation, put it on the discussion board. And everybody had to view the presentations and then write a reflective statement to describe what they learned from it and how they would apply it to their clinical practice setting. And what the students had to do was review everyone's and post it and share. We also had an accountability piece, which is a big problem when you have group work, and so they had peer evaluation as well as self-evaluation. And on each slide it had what was the contribution of each member of the group work, which I think has been helpful for us. I really liked this project. I can't remember who did it, but it's where it's a long-term project and you have the students each week pair up in groups and work on a discussion board topic that they post. And so they have an opportunity to work with each student throughout the semester, and at the end they get to select their own group to work with to do a final group project. I like that and I'm going to use it. And this one I really love for starting kind of an icebreaker. I can't remember whose that was either, but it's 2 truths and 1 lie. Have you ever played that game? Yeah, so the student does a video post where they say 2 truths and 1 lie about themselves, and the other students have to read it and try to guess what the answer is. So those are things I'm going to incorporate into my courses. So we also have additional resources where we go through and talk, like Catherine said, the Zoom, how do you do that, the Canvas group work and things. And this is going to be available to everybody, so hopefully you'll use it. I'm going to walk through each of the ones quickly. How to create groups in Canvas. That's been a problem for a lot of faculty. How do we do it? And then how do I create an assignment for that group specifically? And then how do I track the group work, that specific group's work? And so the tutorials to how to do that are all in there. This is the Zoom. Some of our faculty had never done it. I attended most of our meetings using Zoom. And so this shows you how to do it, how to record. You can record meetings in Zoom. And you can send this to the students, use it for yourself. So this is a great resource with all the links on it. I really like this one too, the helpful hacks and links, and feel free to add to it. I think you probably can. I like this one, is great. It shows you how to embed files in Canvas. So Google Docs, if you use Google Documents, what you do if you embed it in here, then as you make changes in Google Docs, it will automatically appear in Canvas, which is really great. And the group members' roles and descriptions when you work in groups. You're always going to have challenging, good behaviors that facilitate good work or group work, and then also barriers. And so this was describing the different roles, dysfunctional roles as well as functional roles. Another example of an accountability measure that we have where you rate, the peer evaluation of, how much they contributed, what they contributed. And so that's another resource you can use for that. And our last, I've got 2 more slides here. I don't know what else you want me to say about this one. This one, group formation. This is a good one. I would encourage everybody to read this. It kind of weighs the pros and the cons of how to do groups. Like, do you let them self-select? Do you do it randomly? Does the instructor assign it? And so this looks at the advantages and disadvantages to that to help you decide how you want to form the groups. This is another great resource that I have not really gotten into yet, but I plan to. It's the Comprehensive Assessment of Team Member Effectiveness. It's a free resource. I don't know if anybody in here has used it yet, but it helps to facilitate teamwork. It teaches the group members how to work effectively as a team. It facilitates communication between the team members as well as the faculty, and it has peer evaluation incorporated into it. It's free. It's completely free, and it's supposed to help decrease the administrative burden of tracking what the students are doing and the communication and just the group work that comes along with it. And these are the books that we decided. We talked about a lot of different ones. It was a hard decision, but this is what we settled on. A kind of fun one, the Survival Guide. This is more of a theoretical one, and then the Mine's Online, and we have $15 left, I think, right? And we can get another book. I'm not sure if we've decided, but so in summary, as everybody has said, this has really been a great opportunity. I really enjoyed working with our community. I love the workshop that we had, but then also our faculty learning community. Learned a lot from each other and got a lot of really great ideas that I know I'm going to take to my class, and I hope you will too. So that's it. Thank you.